we? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo vamos? ¿Qué tal esas vacaciones? How was your holiday? We're all back now, aren't we, from Easter, de Semana Santa. Os espero. I'm waiting for you. Tengo mi agua preparada. Tengo mis notas preparadas. And today we're going to be nailing those speaking GCSEs, aren't we? Who is stressed about the exams these days? I'm stressed. I'm taking exams this week for my students and I am really stressed out about it. Así que hoy vamos a practicar roleplay, Photocard, básicamente Spanish speaking practice, ¿vale? Pronunciación, etc. I'm gonna help you with a bit of everything. Un poquito de todo. Ya veo por aquí comentarios. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Quieres aprender español? Pues fenómeno. Aquí estás en el lugar adecuado. You're in the right place for it. Muy bien. ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? Hola, Pawan. Sabía que te vería por aquí. I knew you'd be here. You've got mocks. There you go. Don't worry. We're going to practice all of that, ¿vale? I know. So many exams coming up really soon. How are you dealing with that? ¿Qué tal vais? ¿Cómo vamos? Necesito ayuda. I need help. Vale, vamos a ello. Venga, let's start with it, okay? Vale, so in case you don't know what this is about, guys, this is mainly focused for GCSEs. The GCSEs are the UK exams that the students are going to be having at the end of year 11, okay? So at the end of their secondary school year. And in Spanish, we do a speaking exam, and it has 3 different parts, okay? It's got a role play, it's got a photocard, and it's got general conversation questions. So I've gathered quite a few of the main questions that appear in the role play and the photocard, and we're going to be practicing those today. If you don't have an exam, if you're just learning Spanish, if you don't even know what the GCSEs are, or you don't need them for anything, or you're in a different country, that's fine, because the questions we're going to be practicing apply to everything. We're going to be looking at different topics, and today I've chosen higher conversation, okay? So I've chosen the higher tier, so we're going to up the level a little bit, ¿vale? Okay, vamos a ver los comentarios. Déjame ver. Ajá, aquí están los comentarios. Vale, genial. I have a question. I want to move to Spain soon. Is it hard to get the the NIE card? Thanks for the help. So I can't really help you with that right now because everything has changed. It depends on the country where you are. It depends on the permit, the visa that you've got for it. I know that after Brexit, things are a lot more difficult for English people, for example. So it all depends, really. I am not very sure. You'd be better off checking with a lawyer in that sense or somebody, you know, inmigración. But yeah, paperwork, anything paperwork takes a bit of time. La burocracia española. Bueno, chicos, empezamos, okay? Yes, I have changed the music on my YouTube intro. For copyright issues, just in case, I have changed it these days. I didn't want any problems, so I wasn't sure about the copyright, and I've changed it to another one from the library. Okay? Vale, fenomenal. Okay, chicos, so empezamos. El otro día, I'm going to slow down because I know I'm in the Spanish mode and I just go blah, 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 and I can't go that quickly. El otro día, when I did the live just before the holidays, estuvimos introduciendo el roleplay. We did a lot of practice on the roleplay. If you missed that one, si te lo perdiste, está guardado, ¿vale? It's saved over there. Así que hoy vamos a empezar con algunas preguntas de roleplay higher y luego vamos a la photocard, okay? What are roleplays? Roleplays are situations, real life situations. You go to a shop, you want to buy a t-shirt, you have a problem with the t-shirt and you need to encounter that. Okay, all those kind of things. You go to the market, you need to buy this, you need to ask, you're at the train station, you need to ask when the train's leaving. So all those kind of things, ¿vale? Venga, empezamos con la primera. No me enrollo. Okay, chicos, la primera. So the idea is that I ask you a question and then you type it on the screen and I see all the answers here. I'm going to read them out loud. ¿Dónde están? Aquí están, ¿vale? Okay, let's go for it. Venga, empezamos. Número 1. ¿Cuáles son tus planes para los estudios en septiembre? ¿Cuáles son tus planes de estudios en septiembre? What tense is this question in? My what is talking to me? I'm not talking to you. Thank you very much. Okay. ¿Cuáles son tus planes para septiembre? If you don't have any planes de estudio, just make them up. Imagínatelos, invéntatelos. Tan, tan, tan. A ver. No veo nada en los comentarios todavía. ¿Estáis escribiendo? Os doy un poquito de tiempo. Quiero estudiar español todos los días. Muy bien, I would include something like en septiembre, in September, voy a ir a Erasmus. So you don't go to Erasmus, it's not a place, oh my god, I can't get the word. It's the Erasmus, okay? It's not a place to go to, so you just go de Erasmus. Voy de Erasmus a Alcalá de Henares. Muy bien. Si saco buenas notas, if I get good grades, voy a ir a la universidad para estudiar Derecho Internacional. Perfecta esa respuesta. Yo estudio Derecho en septiembre. So Dylan, I would say voy a estudiar. I'm going to study, okay? Voy a estudiar Derecho or estudiaré Derecho. But voy a sounds better because it's a bit more próximo. It's going to happen. Voy a quedarme en mi escuela actual para estudiar mi bachillerato. Perfecto. Bachillerato, important word. A-level is bachillerato en español. Avoid saying A-level in your exam. Empezaré a estudiar mi doctorado en el campo de biología molecular. ¡Madre mía, Pawan! ¡Oh my goodness! Vale, perfecto. Exchange program, thank you very much. I couldn't get it right. I couldn't get that word. Vale, muy bien. I would ask you next, ¿por qué quieres hacer eso? I'm very cringe with my students. I always go, tell me why. Okay, so justify your answers. You give me an answer, you tell me you're going to do something, tell me why you're going to do that thing, okay? Don't just leave it there. ¿Por qué vas a hacer eso? ¿Por qué vas a estudiar biología? ¿Por qué vas a ir de Erasmus? ¿Por qué? That's really easy to give a justification. Imagine that it's only one detail. It could go something like, porque me fascina, because it fascinates me. Porque estoy interesado en esa asignatura or en esa carrera. The person that wanted to stay in the school. Porque me encanta mi colegio. As simple as that, ¿vale? Okay. Hola chicos, I can see some people have joined now. Vale, muy bien. ¿En qué quieres trabajar? What am I asking here? ¿En qué quieres trabajar? I used to dread this question every time people ask me because I didn't know the answer. ¿En qué quieres trabajar? Ay, me encanta esa respuesta, Cuba. Una sola razón. La única razón. Instead of la sola razón, la única razón. The only reason. La única razón. Vale, muy bien, perfecto. Okay, quiero ser, I want to be, quiero ser. Now I'm really intrigued what you're going to say after quiero ser. How would you say I want to be a teacher, for example? Quiero ser, because in English we say I want to be a teacher. How would you say that in Spanish? Because it's not exactly the same. It changes a little bit. Cambia un poquito. Quiero ser. Muy bien. Quiero ser profesor o profesora. Quiero trabajar. I want to work as a teacher. Como profesora de español. Perfecto. But you never say quiero ser un profesor like we do in English. You skip the article. ¿Vale? We don't use it. Muy bien. Sigo con la siguiente. ¿Sigo con la siguiente? Continúo con la siguiente. Ok. Vale. ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre el dinero? ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre el dinero? ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre el dinero? What am I asking you? Ya si tienes dinero, lo siento, no tengo. Quiero ser actriz. Yo también quería ser actriz. Quiero ser como abogada. So be careful. We don't say quiero ser como. You just say quiero ser and the profession. Quiero ser abogada. I want to be a lawyer. Muy bien. Quiero ser un Bitcoin trader. No sé cómo se traduciría Bitcoin trader, to be fair. No lo sé. No lo sé. Tendré que mirarlo. I'll have to look up. Ok, ¿cuál es tu opinión sobre el dinero? What's your opinion on dinero? Money, 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 money. Me gusta mucho el dinero. So, careful with that. Laborar, I know it's very popular in Argentina. They use it quite a lot. In Spain, we would use more the verb trabajar. Currar, if it's very, very slang. Don't use currar in an exam, but yeah, trabajar. De ingeniero civil, muy bien. Quiero ser doctor. ¿El dinero es algo necesario para sobrevivir? Tenerlo demasiado también nos va a arruinar. Posiblemente, es verdad. Muy bien. Vale, perfecto. And now ask me a question about la universidad. Any question. La universidad. En mi opinión, pienso que preocuparme del dinero es una pérdida de tiempo. A veces sí, ¿verdad? Nos preocupamos demasiado. We worry too much. Nos preocupamos demasiado. Vivir sin dinero no es posible, pero está sobrevalorado. Instead of es sobrevalorado, está sobrevalorado. Because it's kind of the state of it, the condition. Quiero ser traductor de español y coreano. Pregunta, question about the universidad. ¿Te gusta la comida de la universidad? A mí me encantaba la comida de mi universidad. Yo estudié filología inglesa en Madrid, en la Complutense, very popular uni in Madrid. Y la comida estaba muy buena, deliciosa. Pasaba más tiempo en la cafetería. I used to spend more time in the cafe. Hablando y comiendo que en clases. ¿Para qué te voy a mentir? Ok, ¿vas a cursar la universidad o vas a ir a la universidad? Muy bien, perfecto. ¿Vas a la universidad? You can ask in the present. ¿Cuál es tu universidad española favorita? Yo fui a la Complutense, solo puedo opinar de la Complutense. I went to the public uni Complutense. A mí me gustaba mucho, I really liked it. Me gustaba mucho. ¿La universidad es difícil? Depende de la carrera, imagino. It depends on the career. No sé. Para mí, que hablaba inglés, I already spoke English when I was doing the carrera, fue fácil. No fue muy difícil. Ok, chicos, cambiamos el tema. Let's change the theme. We're going to una vida sana. Healthy lifestyle. ¿Cuál es tu pasatiempo favorito en la universidad? Mi pasatiempo favorito era hablar con mis amigos. Me fascinaba. Hablar... sí, la cafetería. La cafetería era el lugar. Ok, chicos. Y imagine that I ask you, ¿y tu estilo de vida? ¿Y tu estilo de vida? And your lifestyle. Háblame de si eres una persona sana o si no eres muy sano o sana. There you go, healthy lifestyle, sano. Some people say malsano for unhealthy. It always sounds so weird to me because we don't really use that word in Spain at all. We just say that something no es sano, but we don't use the adjective malsano. I don't know why we teach it like that. Cuando estudiaba arquitectura, careful with the spelling in arquitectura, it's quite a tricky one, it's with Q in Spanish. Cuando estudiaba arquitectura comía más y era más sociable que enfocarme más. Yes, estoy totalmente de acuerdo. I was always more social than focused in the degree. Maybe because I found it quite easy, because I already spoke English. Estoy de acuerdo. ¿Qué dirías a la gente que dice que el bienestar mental, wow, what a question here, no es importante para vivir una vida buena? What would you say? Dirías. That's a very good sentence starter. ¿Qué dirías a la gente? Diría que no tienen razón. Diría que la salud mental, mental health, salud mental es imprescindible. Es vital. Vital, essential. ¿Has vivido una actuación de Friends durante tus días de universidad? I'll be there for you. Sí, totalmente. Muy fan. Ok, ¿qué más? ¿Qué más? Quizás porque malsano sea una palabra común en italiano. Puede ser. It could be that we use it because of that. It's one of those translations. Ok, answer to this one. Creo que tengo un estilo de vida saludable, healthy, saludable. You could also say sano, but saludable is a very good adjective. Porque como frutas y verduras. You've justified your answer as well. So that is perfecto. A ver. Si hubiese tenido a Patry como profesora de inglés en la secundaria, de seguro hubiese aprendido. Muchas gracias. Se hace lo que se puede. We try to do the best we can, don't we? Ok, chicos. ¿Crees que es fácil hoy en día, nowadays, hoy en día, llevar una vida sana? ¿Crees que es fácil hoy en día llevar una vida sana? What am I asking here? Dios mío, esta camiseta. A ver, me pongo el pelo. ¿Qué pensáis? ¿Qué pensáis? What do you think? ¿Es fácil o difícil? Soy bastante sana, pero a veces quiero hacer demasiadas cosas y al terminar del día estoy hecha polvo. Hecha polvo is such a good expression. I am knackered, okay? I am exhausted. Hecha polvo. I am dust, basically, okay? Hecha polvo. Muy bien. So you're quite healthy, but sometimes you want to do too many things, and at the end of the day, you are exhausted. Do we learn all these subjects in school before the exams? All these topics, you mean? Yes, we do. I mean, I cover them at least in my lessons, yes. According to the UK curriculum, you have to. No, cuando entro al supermercado, la primera cosa que veo es la comida dulce. Cuba, hay un truco. There is a trick. Antes de ir al supermercado, tienes que comer. Before you go to the supermarket, you have to eat. Tienes que comer y tienes que ir con la tripa llena, con el estómago lleno. Si no, estás perdida. Otherwise, forget about it. Forget about vida sana. En mi opinión, es bastante difícil porque no tenemos bastante tiempo para pensar en lo que comemos, por ejemplo. Ok, muy bien. Pawan dice, es bastante difícil dado que, guys, very good justifying linking word there, instead of using por qué all the time, dado que los estreses de vida han ampliado mucho más, han aumentado, increased, han aumentado mucho más que los años pasados. Perfecto, pero deberíamos intentar hacerlo. No es fácil porque hoy en día hay muchas drogas. Patry, you're such a source of positive energy. I try, guys, I try. Not every day, but I try. Muchas gracias. Incrementado, aumentado, increased. Muy bien, perfecto. I'm reading another answer from Alessia. No creo que sea fácil vivir una vida sana. Why are the comments disappearing all the time? This is so annoying. Live chat. Yes. Show me all the comments, please. Aha. Aha. I got it. It was so annoying because I had to click clicking. Okay. Lo dudo que sea fácil haber una vida sana en nuestro día. Dudo que sea fácil tener una vida sana, to have a lifestyle. ¿Quieres saber mi opinión? You want to know my humble opinion? En mi opinión, cuando estoy en casa, es más fácil tener una vida sana. Pero cuando salgo, when I go out con amigos, cuando viajo a España o a otros sitios, como mucho más que en casa. Por supuesto. ¿Vale? Ok, siguiente pregunta, chicos. I like this one. ¿Cuál es tu comida preferida? Now I'm gonna get hungry before dinner now. ¿Cuál es tu comida preferida? I haven't had dinner yet. Here it's 8:20 in the UK, and you know I'm very Mediterranean, so I have dinner quite late. It's not very healthy. No es muy sano cenar tarde, pero lo hago. Ok, ¿cuál es tu comida preferida, chicos? What's your favorite meal? ¿Cuál es tu comida? El tailandés. Muy bien. La mía es el arroz con bogavante. I've said this so many times. Either sticky lobster rice o la fideuà, which is a dish from Valencia. Es como la paella, pero con pasta. But with pasta. Right, I'm waiting to see your answers in here. Mi comida preferida, it's with an A at the end, es la comida china, dado que es muy variada. So it would all be with an A, because it's comida, ¿vale? La mía es la pizza, ¿vale? Avocados, that's in Spanish, aguacate, really tricky word, aguacate. Tortilla de papas, muy bien, o de patatas, depending on where you're from. Calamares con aceite. Ok, muy bien. Las fajitas. I've got fajitas. I've got leftover fajitas. Tengo fajitas en el frigo. Me has dado una idea. Fajitas para cenar. Mi comida preferida es la mozzarella. But that's like a product more than a comida. Me encanta la comida jordana. Creo que nunca la he probado. I don't think I've ever tried it. What is your favorite Spanish Latin American singers? We'll get to that, don't worry, we'll get to that. But mi favorita es Shakira. Shakira, Shakira. Na, 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 na. Vale, muy bien. Lomo salteado. ¡Qué rico! Gambas al ajillo. ¡Ay, Dios mío, qué hambre me está entrando! Okay, I'm getting too hungry now. Háblame un poco de la última vez, last time, la última vez que fuiste a un restaurante. Háblame un poco. Tell me a little bit. Háblame un poco de la última vez que fuiste a un restaurante. ¿Dónde fuiste? ¿Qué pasó? Give me some details there. I love the Spanglish, yeah. My brain is like... Okay. ¿Qué me contáis? ¿Qué me contáis del restaurante? Yo, el último restaurante al que fui... It was on holiday, era cuando estaba de vacaciones, la semana pasada. Mi restaurante favorito, sí, mi restaurante favorito, en Valencia, una arrocería. I'm reading through your comments, you're making me laugh, guys. La mesera no era Patricia, sin embargo era simpática. It's interesting because in Latin American Spanish, they say mesera o mesero for waitress. We say camarero o camarera. Camarero o camarera. It's all perfectly correct. La última vez que fui al restaurante, I like the beginning of this answer. You're using the fui in the past tense, nailing that. Last time I went to a restaurant, fui a un restaurante, not una, un restaurante italiano, because it's masculine, restaurante. Con mis padres, you're given some more details in there, y mi hermano. Okay, instead of lo paso genial, because that's a present tense, just say lo pasé. Lo pasé genial. I had a great time. Lo pasé. That's a really good idiom to learn, guys, and to remember. Fui a un restaurante donde se comía carne hace 2 semanas. I went to a restaurant where you eat meat 2 weeks ago. Hace plus the time phrase in there, guys. Hace 2 semanas, 2 weeks ago. Hace un mes, 1 month ago, okay? Hace 2 semanas estaba con mi madre y me lo pasé muy bien, perfecto. Now, little tip of here, guys. Remember that in the role plays, if you're doing your GCSEs, it tells you how many details to give. Do not show off too much and give more details than you should. If it tells you give 1 detail, only give 1. If it tells you give 2 detalles, only give 2. Over here, we're showing off, obviously, and we're practicing, so the more details, the better. Mi restaurante favorito es un delicioso, ¿ok? Es delicioso, está en América y fue muy divertido. Instead of America, I would use Estados Unidos. Be very careful with that, because America refers to the whole continent, doesn't it? Soy estudiante y trabajo en Nando's. Entonces, Nando's. Jody, me gusta mucho Nando's. I really like Nando's. Normalmente me pido, I normally order, normalmente me pido el fino pita wrap. Creo que se llama así. I think it's called like that. This sounds dumb. I'm sure it doesn't. But do you understand Portuguese a bit? Yes, that's interesting. Yo entiendo el portugués, casi todo, almost everything, pero no lo hablo. Y viceversa. I think they understand us better than we understand them. But yeah, it's a Romance language, so we have a lot in common. It's funny every time we speak to each other. Okay, mi visita última, instead of visita última, última visita in this case. Mi última visita ha pasado, has happened, hace 2 semanas. Era un bar de tapas y también eran muy ricas. Perfecto. I like this one. Yun Lee. La última vez fui al restaurante Casa Dani. Casa Dani es uno de mis favoritos de Madrid. I love Casa Dani, me encanta. Ha estado cerrado. It's been closed for quite a while. Y cuando estuve en Madrid no estaba abierto. It wasn't open when I was last in Madrid. Así que no pude ir. Pero a la próxima voy. Vamos que sí voy. Hombre, el menú del día de Casa Dani y la tortilla. ¡Qué rico! Ok, chicos, technology. Vamos a la tecnología, ¿ok? Atención, pregunta. ¿Qué tecnología usaste, careful with the tense, la semana pasada? ¿Qué tecnología usaste la semana pasada? I'm still reading your answers about the previous question. Uy, a mí también me encanta el sushi, Pawan. In fact, I've had sushi for lunch today. No recuerdo? Okay, so never say no recuerdo in an exam. Here it's fine, we're amongst friends. But in an exam, I always say, wing it, make it up. You know, even if it asks you something that has never happened in your life, make it up. Okay? But do answer something, ¿vale? Tienes siempre, siempre, siempre que contestar a la pregunta. So, ¿qué tecnología usaste la semana pasada? Los códigos QR. Muy bien. Un aparato tablet para diagnosticar códigos de automóvil. Wow. Ok. Usé un teléfono. Good. I like that one. That's where I was going. Guys, even if you give the correct answer, like, you know, a technology item, make sure that you use the verb in the past, okay? Usé, in this case, I used, because they've asked you qué tecnología usaste. Usé, the E in the preterite, ¿vale? Usé. Vale, muy bien. Seguimos. ¿Cuál es, en tu opinión, and this is not sponsored, el mejor móvil? ¿Cuál es, en tu opinión, el mejor móvil? Mejor, best. El mejor móvil. I like that one, Mel. Very good, because you were giving a justification as well. Last week, la semana pasada, usé mi móvil, I used my phone para hacer mis deberes, to do my homework. Perfectísimo, muy bien. Jugué a la Xbox porque han salido muchos juegos nuevos. Mi marido juega a la PlayStation, my husband plays PlayStation, y me ha dicho que hay juegos nuevos. He's told me there's new games. Yeah. I'm down with the cool kids. Ok, cualquiera menos Apple. Sorry, not sorry. Samsung, no entiendo cómo los iPhone funcionan. Apple, diría que lo mejor móvil, instead of lo mejor móvil, el mejor móvil. El mejor móvil es de Apple. Vale, Google Pixel, de todo un poco. Muy bien, vale, perfecto. Important, again, don't just say the phone, just say, you know, formulate the sentence with a verb. Very, very important, always include a verb in there, ¿vale? ¿Dónde tú eres? ¿De dónde soy? Soy de Madrid. I'm from Madrid, guys. Soy de Madrid. Vale, muy bien. Pasamos a la siguiente. ¿Cuál es una, and this one interests me a lot, cuál es una desventaja de las redes sociales? ¿Cuál es una desventaja de las redes sociales? I could tell you. ¿Cuál es una desventaja? Dime, dime, dime. ¿Sabes si tener un acento andaluz va a afectar a mi grado? A tu nota. Grade in Spanish is nota. Para nada, en absoluto. Todos los acentos son válidos y perfectos. O sea, no va a afectar en absoluto. Omar dice, no entiendo. Fair enough, Omar. Let me ask the question again. ¿Cuál es una desventaja? What is a disadvantage? Desventaja, very important word right there. And the opposite, advantage, would be ventaja, with a V, even though I pronounce it like B, ¿vale? Ventaja, desventaja. So, ¿cuál es una desventaja de las redes sociales? What is a disadvantage of social media? ¿Vale? ¿Cuál es una desventaja de las redes sociales? Que hay mucha persona rara. Hay de todo. There's a bit of everything, yeah, but some people commented, somebody commented, there's a lot of weird people. La posibilidad de tener adicción, sí, totalmente. Yo trabajo de ello ahora, as you know, I work in social media, y a veces es muy tarde por la noche and I'm still working, o por la mañana muy temprano. Puede ser un problema porque no desconectas. You don't disconnect. No desconectas. Una desventaja de las redes sociales es que si hablas con las personas, podrían fingir ser alguien que en realidad no son. Classic catfish? Yeah, catfish. Couldn't get the name of it. Sí, exacto. Hay gente que puede hacerse pasar o fingir, they can pretend, ser alguien que no son. Muy bien, that's a disadvantage, una desventaja. En mi opinión, las redes sociales son, careful, we wouldn't say es because it's plural, son malas. Make it all plural because it's redes sociales. Son malas para todo gentes cabezas, para la cabeza de todo el mundo, ¿ok? Or para, I would say instead of cabeza, salud mental, mental health, ¿ok? ¿Vale? Sounds a bit better. Una desventaja podría ser que las noticias falsas, fake news, que circulan allí. Muy bien. Lo peor, instead of el peor, it would be lo peor. When you say lo peor, it means the bad thing. Lo mejor, the good thing. Okay? The best, sorry, the worst thing and the best thing. Lo mejor, lo peor. Lo peor de las redes sociales es que es muy fácil conseguir una adicción. Sí, we've mentioned that. Perfecto. No, Fire Pit, you're talking about the accents. It should not affect your grade whatsoever. El acento andaluz, Andalusian accent, is just as valid as Madridian or Latin American. They're all types of Spanish and they're all beautiful in their own ways. So, no, it should not affect your grade whatsoever as long as you communicate the message correctly. ¿Vale? Ok, venga chicos, seguimos. Muy bien. Okay, I like this one. ¿Cuántas veces por semana usas las redes sociales? ¿Cuántas veces por semana? What do I mean by this? What am I asking you? Agüita. Ay, qué fresquita, qué rica. Ok, ¿cuántas veces por semana usas las redes sociales? Yo te diría que uso las redes sociales todos los días, a menos que esté muy estresada o mala, unless I'm very stressed or poorly. Pero las uso todos los días. A ver, ¿cada cuánto? Okay, so I've asked you guys how many times per week, okay, how often, ¿cuántas veces, how many times per week, por semana, usas las redes sociales? Sí, son como una encuesta. Absolutely. This is like a quiz, guys. Yes, it is. And as a teacher, it feels so awkward doing these exams because it's just putting the student on the spot and it has to be like boom, 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 very quickly and very, very accurate. It's so stressful for the teacher. Yes, I don't like these exams at all. No me gustan. Los uso la mayoría de los días, the majority of the days. Supongo que las uso 3 o 4 veces por semana, 3 or 4 times a week. I like the beginning. Supongo que, I suppose I use them. Claramente. Oh my goodness. Shakira, I can't cope, guys, with the latest songs. Claramente hay gente que son más dependientes. Gente is plural, okay? In that case, so, sorry, gente is plural. Gente is plural, people, but we use it as singular. So, la gente es más dependiente, ¿ok? A las redes sociales. Muy bien. Técnicamente uso las redes sociales a diario, daily. I like that one. A diario, daily. Pero solo, but only, para subir fotos, to upload pictures. I've seen that kind of vocab in so many readings and so many listenings. Very, very good. Muy de vez en cuando, very, very few times. No soy influencer. Muy bien, chicos. Perfecto. Okay. This might sound a bit weird, but I'm just curious. Have you ever been to the US? Yes, absolutely. If so, were people ever surprised that you spoke Spanish despite not being Latina? ¡Qué malos! Yes, he tenido muchos cultural shocks with Americans and I think it's the education, the system's fault that they don't know that much sometimes about geography or things like that. And yes, I have had a lot of, cultural shocks or people asking me, oh, where in Mexico is Spain? But not everybody, of course, not everyone. Most people know where Spain is and yes. Nowadays it's a lot better. But when I went there, it was a while ago. I was 11 when I first went there to learn English. Ok, Vale, seguimos. I'm thinking I'm going to skip these two role plays, guys, and I'm going to go to the Photocard because I want to cover that as well, ¿vale? What do you think? ¿Cómo vamos? ¿Qué tal lo veis? Because I'm aware we've been already for like 35 minutes. Yes, exactly. Okay. Do you have any tips for when we have to ask the question? What are the best words to use? Right. Okay. So important, know your question words, guys. Okay. Especially for higher, they ask you next to the question bit. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, in the role play, they give you 4 bullet points. Okay. Each of them is an answer to a question I'm asking. However, in one of them is a question you need to ask the teacher. For that one, sometimes it's very generic, like the one for la universidad, and they don't put anything next to it. But when it's not generic, they ask you next to it, they write the question word. So they can use ¿dónde? Where? ¿Cuándo? When? ¿Cómo? How? ¿Por qué? Why? Okay, so you need to know these question words very, very well to be able to manage if they are specifying. For example, I've got one here. Let me have a look. ¿Dónde está la pregunta? Ah, sorry, I've gone to the Photocard. Okay, ¿cuándo? Móvil nuevo. What would you ask if they tell you to ask a question using the words ¿cuándo? And móvil nuevo? What would you ask? ¿Cuándo? Móvil nuevo. So ¿cuándo means when. Muchas gracias, Liliana. Thank you very much. I will start uploading a lot more content these days about English as well. I'm going to do a bit of a mixture, ¿vale? Vamos a mezclarlo. Rafa, es que soy de Madrid. I'm from Madrid. Por eso hablo muy bien, por eso hablo bien castellano. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. Muy bien. ¿Cuándo compraste tu móvil nuevo? When did you buy your new phone? ¿Cuándo reservas tu móvil nuevo? When are you booking your new phone? ¿Cuándo vas a comprarte un móvil nuevo? Perfecto, chicos. Muy bien. So you would use cuándo and comprarte un móvil nuevo. I have a trick for the questions. I have a bit of a cheeky trick to get them right most of the time. But that trick doesn't apply when they ask you to put a question word like in the example I've given you. So if they are a bit, pushing boundaries and they ask you to write the question word, they give you cuándo, por qué, dónde, cómo, quién, okay? If they give you a question word, you need to use that question word, ¿vale? You need to. If they give you just the word, for example, previously, la universidad, we had the word la universidad and they didn't give us any words. Well, I didn't tell you that much, but they didn't give you any words. It was just only an open question about la universidad. I always tell my students, if you're not sure about how to ask a question, ask what's your opinion about, and then put the words that they're asking you to use. So, ¿cuál es tu opinión sobre? What's your opinion about? ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre? And then, boom, la universidad. That's it, you get the points, okay? I'm trying to teach you how to speak Spanish here, but I'm also helping you pass an exam. So, desperate situations require desperate measures. If you need to use it, use it. But again, that's not going to get you out of the pickle. Out of the pickle, I love that idiom. That's not going to get you out of trouble if they are asking you to use a question word. So learn your question words. There's not that many of them, so learn them, ¿vale? ¿Sí? Okay, venga, seguimos. Tell me over here, what do you want me to do next then? Do you want me to get a couple of questions from the photocards? Or do you want me to keep going with the role play? ¿Qué queréis? My God, MN, that's such a good question. ¿En dónde recargas tu saldo? But that wouldn't give you the points because it was ¿cuándo? The question word that they were asking you. Muy bien. ¿Vale? Mobile phone is móvil. Sí, en España, móvil. If you're in Latin America, celular. Celular. Photocard. Venga, vamos a la Photocard. We've done a role play quite a lot. Vamos a la Photocard. Okay, imagine you've got a picture of recycling. There's a family and they're recycling bottles. Can't show you pictures at the moment and I can't put them in the background because it would be very difficult for me. But, okay, it's a picture of a family recycling. Una familia reciclando. The first question is always, ¿qué hay en la foto? What's in the picture? ¿Qué hay en la foto? How would you describe that imaginary picture that I'm telling you about? And I'm telling you in English on purpose, okay? What's in the picture? There's the family recycling, bottles, plastic bottles. What would you say? I'm gonna give you more details. A family of 4, the mom, the dad, a girl and a boy. And they're all happy, smiling. They're outside and it's a sunny day. Tell me, what's in the picture? ¿Qué hay en la foto? A ver. Ay, me están entrando los sudores fríos, de verdad. I'm getting so nervous about this because I'm doing the exam with my year 11s this week. First day that I'm back, I'm doing it with them and I'm dreading it because I get so nervous doing it. I get more nervous than they do, I think. Okay? Una familia de 4 personas reciclando botellas de agua. Perfecto. Now, let me remind you guys that in the Photocard, they get about... why am I getting this confused? Okay, so you have 12 minutes of preparation time. I'm going crazy now. Yeah, 12 minutes. Okay, so you've got 12 minutes. Oh, thank you. 12 minutes preparation time. Sorry, I was looking at my notes. And I always say devote about 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes to prepare the role play and the rest in the Photocard. So about 8 minutes in the Photocard, okay? Because it requires longer responses. It requires kind of little paragraphs, mainly because of the time that you need to meet, which are between 2 to 3 minutes, depending on your tier. So longer answers for the Photocard, big paragraphs, short answers, 1 phrase, 2 phrases for the role play in each bullet point. Okay? So Photocard a little bit longer. ¿De acuerdo? If you're not understanding what the teacher is saying, the teacher can paraphrase the Photocard, whereas the teacher can't change the questions in the role play whatsoever. We need to read what's on the script. But on the Photocard, we can adapt them a little bit, maintaining original meaning. Okay? So, ¿qué hay en la foto? Pawan described it very well. You know what I had last year? I had somebody that got a Photocard and they had no clue how to describe it in Spanish. I can't remember what the topic was. I think the topic was like gym, healthy lifestyle. And then they described, because they didn't know the vegetables and the things that were in the picture, they described what wasn't in the picture. So they said things like, there's not a burger, no hay una hamburguesa, no hay un tomate. And I was like, no, you can never describe what's not in the picture, always what's in the picture, ¿vale? So a little tip over there. Okay, vamos a ver vuestras respuestas. En la foto hay mucha basura, singular, mucha basura, a lot of rubbish. Okay? Está la familia en el jardín. The family is in the garden. Está sonriendo. Muy bien. Hay un cubo de basura. There is a bin. Y hay botellas de agua. Muy bien. Perfecto. Palms! Yes, Rose, you've mentioned palms. I was about to say it. Okay. Palms is a trick that I always say, guys, to use for these kind of question. For the first question, Photocard. What does palms stand for? Rose has written it over there. P stands for people. So, en la foto hay una familia. En la foto hay 4 personas. En la foto veo, I can see, un padre, una madre, or una mujer, un hombre, y 2 niños. You describe the people in the picture. Número 2, A for palms. Action, what are they doing? La familia está reciclando. Está, and then the verb ending in ando or yendo. It's a gerund, okay? Está reciclando. Están, I don't know, comiendo, eating, están bebiendo, están hablando, they're talking. ¿De acuerdo? Okay, seguimos con location. Where are they? Están en el jardín. Again, use your están for the action, for the location, and also for the mood. Están sonriendo. They're smiling. Están contentos. They're happy. Okay? If you don't want to use están all the time and repeat it, you could use parecen. They seem. They seem happy. Parecen contentos. They seem happy. Okay? And so I've done P, people, action, location, mood. And then the last one is season, okay? But the season, you can't use it for all of them because if they are inside, you can't really say anything other than están dentro de la casa or están dentro. If they are outside and you can see the weather, you could say están fuera, están en el jardín. Hace bueno is good weather. Hace malo is bad weather. Okay? So bear that in mind. Es frustrante cuando en el examen te interrumpen justo cuando estás cogiendo confianza en lo que dices. Dan says it's very frustrating when in the exam they interrupt you just when you're getting confident in what you're saying. I know, but we have a time, time given that your answers don't count if the time goes above that. So we need to bear that in mind. It's so frustrating. I know. ¿Vale? Is sonriendo on its own meaning they are smiling? Or do you have to say more? You have to say están sonriendo. They are smiling. Están sonriendo. It's a verb, ¿ok? Están sonriendo. En la foto hay una familia con padres y sus hijos con botellas de plástico. Plastic bottles, muy bien, para reciclar. Se reciclan, they recycle, porque los plásticos pueden ser peligrosos para los animales como los zorros. Oh my goodness, very good. They recycle because the plastics can be dangerous for animals such as zorros. What animal is zorro? The fox. Muy bien, chicos, very good. Okay, vale, sigo con la siguiente pregunta. So we've done what's in the picture. I've told you about palms, okay? Yes, en lugar de sonriendo, puedes decir están alegres, they are happy. Están alegres, ¿vale? O parecen alegres, they seem happy. Muy bien. Careful with this. ¿Qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado para proteger el medio ambiente? If they gave me £1 every time I have to do one of these, every time I have to ask one of these questions with ¿qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? They're all the same, guys. ¿Qué hiciste? I always tell my students in the writing and in the speaking, if you see the word hiciste, past tense. Use your past tense. And I always tell them as well, if you're freaking out, if you don't remember your past tense, your pre-tried ending, use your F words. They crack up every time I tell them to use their F words. What are their F words? Fui, I went to, and fue, it was. ¿Vale? So fui and fue. ¿De acuerdo? Okay, so, ¿qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? What did you do last weekend para proteger el medio ambiente? Sometimes they hear, ¿qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? And then they just, go off track and they just go, fui a un restaurante. But remember that the question is linked to protect the environment, para proteger el medio ambiente. Okay? So, what could you say? What did you do last weekend to protect the environment? What could we say? ¿Qué podríamos decir? A ver. Más agua para el body. No veas lo que hablo, ¿eh? El fin de semana pasado reciclé. ¡Yes! Reciclé y monté en bici para proteger el medio ambiente. Perfecto. If you can add anything else, better, because remember that these questions need to be longer than the role play, okay? But that's perfect because you've used the past tense twice. Amazing and very accurate. El fin de semana pasado reciclé la basura en la playa. Careful with that feminine masculine, guys, over there. La basura en la playa con mi familia. La semana pasada, always feminine, semana, limpié la playa con un grupo de amigos ecológicos. Muy bien. That would be more like, I would say from a grupo ecológico, instead of ecológicos referring to the amigos. Unos amigos de una organización ecológica. That sounds better, ¿vale? Ahorré agua cuando me duché y compré botellas de agua en lugar de las de plástico. Ahorré, I saved water. Ahorré agua, and I also liked very much in there, en lugar de, instead of plastic. Okay, I use botellas de agua. But you haven't mentioned, did you want to say botellas de agua de cristal? Glass bottles, en vez de las de plástico. Pawan says, fui a un lugar como un cajero para reciclar mis botellas de plástico antiguas y clasifiqué mi basura en sus propias categorías antes de tirarla. You don't want to say cajero. Cajero is the cash point where you get your money out. You want to say contenedor. Okay, that's the container where you want to go to recycle the types of bin, rubbish. Have you ever heard of the song to remember the endings for the pre-tried? I haven't. No, I've got quite a few songs on my repertoire, but I haven't heard that one. I will look it up this week. Me compré un filtro de agua. Perfecto. Okay, so the key in here, guys, is always give an opinion, always add verbs and justify your answers, okay? Verbs in the correct tense. If you see the word hiciste, in the past tense, en el pasado, ¿vale? Siguiente pregunta. This one is an opinion. So they ask you 3 questions that you can see and that you can prepare. And then they ask you 2 questions that you can't prepare for. So, you know, it's a bit dramatic in that sense. Always expect in the 3 questions to have an opinion. Well, to have ¿qué hay en la foto? What's in the picture? Then you're going to have one tense, future or past. And then you're going to have an opinion. Maybe not in that order. Maybe it's the opinion first and then the tenses. But if we've had the past tense in this time, expect that in the other 2 questions, there's going to be 1 future and there's going to be 1 opinion. So that way you can calculate. So in total, you will have the 3 tenses in the higher tier. Am I making sense? Hola, ¿qué tal? Somebody else has joined us. Perfecto. Oh, really, Pawan? I didn't know that. Oh, perfecto. Muy bien. I didn't know about the cash point. Okay, how much vocab do we need to know? It all depends on your tier, guys. It all depends. If you're in the higher tier, a lot more than in the foundation tier, but it's all online. If you go to your, if you're doing the AQA board, for example, the exam board vocab, it's online. So you can download it from there if your teacher hasn't given it to you. But, you know, all of the photocards and the role plays, as long as you know the topic main vocab, they repeat a lot. You can manage, ¿vale? Okay, so, seguimos. ¿Dónde estoy? Okay, the question that I was going to ask you, opinion question. ¿Te gusta la idea de tener contenedores de reciclaje de color diferentes? Repito. ¿Te gusta la idea de tener contenedores de reciclaje de color diferentes? There is a bit of difference, Rose, between AQA and EdExcel. I haven't done EdExcel in a while. I've always been working with AQA. But yeah, you can see the specifications online, ¿vale? Of the exam. I have not uploaded any of my revision sheets online. No, I'm planning on doing this. But it's a bit late for this year, I'm afraid, because I'm working on creating a website and all of that, guys. It will not be ready for now. So, you know, but you can download everything in AQA, TES. You've got so many revision sheets. ¿Vale? Oh, that's really annoying that you're the only higher in your class. So the higher language, if your tier is AQA, go onto the AQA website, download the vocab from there, or ask your teacher to give you the AQA vocab, okay? For a higher. Vale. Entonces, ¿te gusta la idea de tener contenedores de reciclaje de color diferentes? What would you answer to this one? ¿Te gusta la idea? Do you like the idea of? ¿Te gusta la idea de? Now remember, every time you've got opinion questions, you tend to go for, en mi opinión. Come on, spice it up, you know, add a little bit of mix in there. So, what else could you say instead of en mi opinión? En mi opinión, no me gustan los colores de los botes de reciclaje porque no me fascina el azul. Careful, if they use the word contenedores in the question, try to use the same word. Contenedores, the containers. No me importa el color de los contenedores. Estoy acostumbrada a que sean azules. Diría que, very good, Rose, muy bien, I would say that. Diría que, considero que, okay? You need to vary those option sentence starters so you're not repeating the same one all the time. ¿De acuerdo? Vale, ok. Sin duda, para la mayoría, not por la mayoría, para la mayoría, es bastante fácil poder clasificar nuestra basura. Pero, very good, you're giving a contrast there, that's always great. Pero deberíamos considerar, we should consider, deberíamos considerar Los desafíos de los daltónicos. That's very good. The challenge for the colorblind. Oh my goodness, daltónico is such a tricky word in Spanish, Pawan. Así que tenemos que tener otros indicadores también. Desde mi punto de vista, pienso que... Perfecto, you've got a few sentence starters there. No me place il colore azzurri. You're taking Italian now, aren't you? You've gone to Italian. Okay, vale, seguimos. Para ti es importante reciclar. This would be an example of a question, a surprise question. So I've asked you the 3 that are on your paper that you can prepare for, that you need to be using those 8 minutes to prepare for. 8 minutes on the Photocard, 4 on the role play. And now I go with the surprise questions. You put your paper down. Well, you don't have to put your paper down. You know, you can write them down on the paper. You can have your paper with you. You can anticipate what I'm going to ask you. Because remember, if I've said, ¿qué hiciste? What did you do? What's coming? What's coming is the future. Okay? Future tense. So you could write down a few verbs in the future tense, anticipating what the question is going to be. Or you can write down voy a to make sure that you've got that handy, okay? And in the moment of the stress that you are there, you've got something to kind of guide you, ¿vale? Okay, so first question, unexpected question. ¿Para ti es importante reciclar? This one doesn't really have a tense. This one is the opinion one. This one is the easy one. So come on, nail it. We've given a few sentence starters for it. So what would you say? Para ti es importante reciclar. You put on the spot. The teacher is looking at you. The time is running. Chun, chun, chun. What are you going to say? Why are you so obsessed with the color azul over here? I'm cracking up with your answers. Ok, Liliana dice, sí, súper importante, especialmente para salvar el planeta. Intento reciclar al máximo normalmente. Fenomenal. Sí, es importante porque necesitamos proteger el medio ambiente, porque si no lo hacemos, el cambio climático, climate change, very good. The more keywords that you have for the topic and you include in there, the better. You're giving contrast, you're giving justifications, you know, that is going to increase your grade. Remember, have a list of idioms, okay? Have a list of idioms and add them to your writing, add them to your speaking. They're gonna boost your grade. Have 5 of them, 4 of them, I don't know, 2 of them that you include a few times in the speaking and the writing. They're gonna help you guys. They're gonna boost your grade a lot. Let me find it. Where was I reading? Sorry. Sí, es importante porque necesitamos proteger el medio ambiente. Porque si no lo hacemos, because if we don't do it, el cambio climático va a aumentar y vamos a morir. Chun, chun, chun. Muy bien. Para mí es importante reciclar porque si reciclamos, no tendríamos muy bien conditional tense in there. We wouldn't have, no tendríamos que gastar tantos materiales, to spend so many materials. Sino podríamos volver a usar los que ya tenemos. Instead, we could reuse the ones that we have. Muy bien, that we already have. Pienso que es muy importante reciclar para mejorar el medio ambiente. Normalmente reciclo cada día. Muy bien, you've given your opinion in there and then you've added a time phrase and you're telling people what you normally do every day. Perfecto. Sí, creo que, I think that, reciclar es muy importante para salvar el planeta. El plástico es un gran problema. Estupendo, chicos. Those answers are brilliant, okay? Remember in the exam, if you can make them a little bit longer, that'd be great. But this, again, is an unexpected question, so it is expected that it's going to be shorter because you can't prepare for it. So, fair enough. And now, another unexpected with the other tense, and we're going to finish with this one, guys. ¿Qué vas a hacer en el futuro para proteger el medio ambiente? I find the medio ambiente so annoying. Not the actual medio ambiente, but the topic of medio ambiente, because I feel that there's only so much you can say and that you kind of repeat a lot of the answers. So, ¿qué vas a hacer en el futuro para proteger el medio ambiente? What are you going to do in the future to protect the environment? I tell my students, every time you see hiciste, it's a past tense. Every time you see vas a, it's a future tense. So every time you see vas a, I go like this. I'm like, if I say vas a, what do you say? And they go, voy a. If I, so, okay. So vas a, you answer voy a. All right? Recomiendo que elijas el tema del medio ambiente porque es el tema más difícil, así que puedes estar preparado. Yes, that's in the general conversation, Lauren. That's a good strategy. You choose the one that's the most difficult so you can prepare in advance. Oh, thank you very much, Sean. En el futuro voy a ducharme, because you do it by yourself, it's a reflexive verb. Voy a ducharme más y usar menos agua. You're going to shower more but use less water? How are you going to do that? Y también, si puedo, voy a cerrar los... careful. To shut the lights, to turn the lights off. Apagar. Not cerrar. Cerrar is to close something. Apagar, to turn off. Apagar las luces si no estoy en la habitación. Muy bien. I like that one. Very good. That's a very good idiom, Lauren. Será pan comido. Easy peasy. A piece of bread. Okay? Pan comido. Realmente no puedo hacer nada porque no soy parte del gobierno, pero debemos tratar de decirle al gobierno que debe hacer algo con respecto al cambio climático. Cuba, that's really good, but what are you missing in that answer? A future tense. So be careful. You would get points, marks off because you haven't used the future tense, even though it's brilliant. More showers and less baths. Oh, I get you. Yes. So más duchas y menos baños. Muy bien, duchas. Voy a seguir ahorrando agua y comida. Voy a comprar solamente la comida que necesito y no demasiada. Para que no tenga, you've even used a subjunctive. You genius. Que tirarla. Voy a usar menos plástico y más cristal. Muy bien, Alesia. Muy bien. Tal vez compre un coche eléctrico, another subjunctive, pero ahora no tengo dinero para hacer eso. Estoy quebrada. I am broke. Estoy quebrada. Sí, estoy a dos velas. I need to start saving soon. Muy bien, chicos. Okay. I'm trying to finish these messages. En el futuro intentaré ahorrar agua without lo, me. You don't need it there, Mel. Cuando me duche y apagar las luces en mi casa. Muy bien, voy a intentar reciclar más. Usar menos plástico y utilizar menos recursos. Vale, chicos, muy bien, perfecto. Okay, so we've been going for just over an hour now and you've been amazing as always. I really, really hope this has helped you at least a little bit, okay, get to the grade you need to get and solve your questions. Now, like I said, I know the time frames for the exams. So I will be doing this month and a little bit maybe of next month. Okay? So I will see you next Sunday, el domingo que viene, in another stream. In the meantime, you know, I'm on Instagram every day. If you've got any doubts, anything you want to ask, you can always ask me over there. ¿Vale? Pero bueno, hemos practicado roleplay y Photocard, así que muchas gracias, chicos, y hasta la próxima. Oh, and loads of videos this week coming up on little tips on how to improve your Spanish, ¿vale? Así que os veo en los reels también y en los shorts y todo eso. Venga, adiós, mucha suerte if you have exams this week. Best of luck, you're gonna nail them. Adiós.